Hi, everybody. I'm Skip Elsheimer, and welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime streaming show. Um, I love the stock cans that I have been pulling and scanning from Cornet Films. This is kind of the outtakes of films they shot, and then just held on to the footage. And so it's a wonderful mixed bag montage of you don't know what you're going to see next, and there is all sorts of really beautiful stuff in there. Someone said this is like the short attention span part of the show. There is no, of course, no soundtrack. This is all double perfed film, and Cornet, like a lot of educational film companies, would add sound after the fact. It's just cheaper that way. Let's learn how to punctuate.
On your mark, get set. Track meet is in place. On your mark is important. It's also a good opportunity to remind you that it's time for you to get on your marks, your punctuation marks. Punctuation is much more important than most of us realize. For example, take newspaper writing. Watch this linotype operator as he sets up the story of our track meet for tomorrow's newspaper. Now, suppose it were possible for us to remove the punctuation marks. The printer works just the same. The paper comes off the presses just as fast. And is delivered the same. It looks almost the same, except for one little thing. It doesn't make sense. No, without the punctuation marks, it just doesn't make sense. Take out the punctuation marks, and all you have left is confusion. Now, here's another thing about punctuation. Suppose you should want to answer an advertisement for a job. And suppose we removed all the punctuation marks from your typewriter. And you typed your letter of application anyway. And this is the man you hope will hire you, and he's reading your letter, which looks like this, without punctuation, since that's the way you wrote it. Your prospective employer will probably consider your application like this. Let's write the letter over again, correctly this time. To make sense, even in this short letter, we must use 1 colon, 6 commas, 8 periods, and of course the words. Now it makes sense. First, we've used a colon for the salutation in a business letter. A period at the end of each declarative sentence. Other periods after the abbreviations. A comma to separate the items and the date. Another one to separate the introductory phrase from the rest of the sentence. 2 more to separate items in the address. And by all means, commas to help us read this group of names. There you have it, just a few punctuation marks, but what a difference they make in a letter. This time it's producing results. In social correspondence, punctuation is equally important. Dear Daddy, how are you? We are fine. The cow had a calf yesterday. Grandma feels better. Send me some more candy. It is raining. The weather is terrible. Your loving son, Tommy. Well, Dad's glad Tommy can write at all, and he'll forgive the lack of punctuation in Tommy's letter. But in a few years, this same young man's letters may be read by more critical correspondents, and he may be judged by the letters he writes. From the appearance of Tommy's letter, he still hasn't found out about punctuation. It doesn't take the girls long to find out about Tommy, though. He writes as a child, and that's how he'll be considered, just a child. But here is a different story. A letter from a right guy, and what a reception it gets. Yes, punctuation has made the difference, for punctuation helps make your writing clear and interesting, and helps reflect your own personality. Learning to punctuate is not hard. Basically, it involves the intelligent application of a few simple rules. Here are the more important members of the punctuation family. The period, the semicolon, question mark, the colon, exclamation mark, quotation marks, and the comma. Now let's see some of their principal uses. In how many different ways can a sentence be ended? Here are 3 sentences, each exactly the same in wording, but by using different punctuation marks, we show different meanings. Using a period, we make a simple declarative sentence of the first one. This is good. A question mark at the end of the second sentence makes it a direct question. This is good. And an exclamation mark at the end of the third sentence makes it an exclamation. This is good. The comma is a signal for the reader to pause. It serves many purposes in our written language. Here are just a few. The comma helps us separate names in a series, although sometimes the last comma is not used. It separates the day or the month from the year and keeps the figures from running together. It separates names of cities and their states. The comma sets off the name of the person addressed. A comma can completely change the meaning of a sentence. Study this cartoon for a second and notice the comma in the sentence. Let's eat, Grandma. Now, by simply removing the comma, we get this. You will agree that the comma in this case is very important, at least to Grandma. Quotation marks identify the title of a poem when used in a sentence. Their most common use is to set apart and clearly indicate a direct quotation. But quotation marks may also change the meaning of a sentence. For instance, the Indians, said Mary, scalped General Custer. Now we'll switch the quotation marks, the comma, and the Indians, and the Indians said, Mary scalped General Custer. The semicolon is another important member of the punctuation family. It separates related independent clauses when they are not joined by and, but, or a similar conjunction. And it is used between items in a series where commas are included. The colon follows the salutation in a business letter. The colon is also used to show that a list of items follows. And that brings us back to the track meet, where being on your mark is important, but certainly no more important than knowing and using properly the punctuation marks that help other people understand what you write, whether in your morning newspaper, in business correspondence, in social correspondence, or in your schoolwork. Punctuation is important.
I really wish that all educational films had organ music as the background music. It just, I don't know, it just feels something festive about it, something, more fun than probably what the film is about. It just sets a good tone and good outro. Excuse me. Anyways, it's really hot here in North Carolina, where AV Geeks is based, and the fans are just kind of chugging away, doing what they do, but it's gross. So this is why we hunker down and hide ourselves inside, because AV Geeks are not sun folk. We like the dark, we like the cool fall, spring, even the winter a little bit. Anyways, I have a film here. Again, this is one that was donated that showed up late last week, and I'm excited to show it. This is a world premiere, or re-premiere. Probably this film has probably not been shown in the 21st century, so publicly. So here we go. This is Snacking Garbage in Your Gut. Enjoy.
Garbage in the gut. Say what? Garbage in the gut. Oh, keep your mouth shut. And garbage in the gut. Say what? Garbage in the gut. Keep your mouth shut. And garbage in the gut. Say what? Garbage in the gut. French fries. Say what? In the gut. Keep your mouth shut. Garbage in the gut. Say what? Garbage in the gut. Keep your mouth shut. Garbage in the gut. Say what? Garbage in the gut. Keep your mouth shut. Potato chips. Garbage in the gut. Say what? Garbage in the gut. Keep your mouth shut. Chocolate donut. Say what? Garbage in the gut. Keep your mouth shut. Garbage in the gut. Say what? Garbage in the gut. Keep your mouth shut. Garbage in the gut. Say what? Garbage in the gut. Keep your mouth shut. Garbage in the gut. Say what? Cherry blossom. Keep your mouth shut. Garbage in the gut. Strawberry pie. Keep your mouth shut. Garbage in the gut. Say what? Blueberry pie. Keep your mouth shut. Dewberry pie. Say what? Garbage in the gut. Licorice. Jam, jelly, peach melba, baked Alaska.
We have to confess we've been up to no good. Poppy, would you like to explain what you've been doing?
Well, I was spying on Anne.
Jeff, what have you been doing?
I was spying on Jay.
I was spying on Janet.
I was spying on John.
What's been happening is that these eating habits you've been eating from day to day over a period of 5 days. Now, you 4 students have been invited to come here to the cafeteria kitchen by your teacher, Mrs. Milne. Do you know why you're here?
All we know is that we're doing something on nutrition.
On nutrition.
Yes.
You've all seen the James Bond movies?
Yeah.
Well, how would you like to be spies? Can you imagine? I beg your pardon?
That wouldn't be bad.
Okay. we're going to offer you an opportunity to be a spy on a classmate of yours. Now, this school happens to be particularly close to a lot of hamburger stands and pastry shops and that sort of thing. And what we'd like you to do is to select a classmate, girl, boy, and follow them each day and watch exactly what snacks they eat. And after 3 or 4 days, we'll sit down and we'll tell them that you've been spies, but we don't want them to know what you're doing. And as in the James Bond movies, you might say that Mrs. Milne, your teacher, is M, right? I want to give you some books, little notebooks, okay? Each of you will have a little notebook, and you make a notation as you wander around spying on your classmates. Okay, so you've all got your lists and your little notebooks, and you can be 001, and you'll be 002, and 003, and 004. All right? Happy spying. Good luck. Thank you. Thank you.
In the following days, our 4 spies tracked their prey with frantic devotion. This pair of happy snackers is devouring cookies. Our eager spies seek every cover to watch the action. Mrs. Milne, their teacher, our master spy, supervises the espionage, receiving secret reports at prearranged drops. Some of our spies go to extraordinary lengths to keep track of their subjects. From behind trees, in closets, under beds, they plied their nutritional espionage. No device is too underhanded to stand in the way of their mission. Is this girl on her way to a love affair with a Big Mac? A rendezvous with a sack of chips? A tryst with pretzel? Only our spy will find out. Into hamburgeries, ice creameries, fish and chipperies, big bakeries, and sweet confectionaries, our unsuspecting victims make their way. Tiny pawns in a giant chess game of fast foods, chocolate empires, and ice cream monopolies. Even the spies are not aware they're the target of a multi-billion-dollar snacking industry. We North Americans spend over $1 billion a year for potato chips, $1.5 billion for cookies, crackers, and tidbits, and nearly $4 billion for chocolate bars, candies, and chewing gum. And now our spies divulge their secrets.
For breakfast on Saturday, she had an apple and coffee. She'd usually have toast and coffee. For lunch, she'd have a bacon sandwich, chips, banana, gum. For snacks, she had marshmallow roll and chips. For dinner, she might have like French fries, Coke, orange juice, and as a snack, popcorn, candies, and she had some milk. She had peanut butter and jam sandwich. For lunch, she'd have an egg sandwich with ice cream and chocolate milk. At home that night, she ate meatloaf, potatoes, carrots, and drank milk. And she also had cherry blossom, cheesies, peanut butter and jam sandwich, and brownies.
All at once? Jeff?
For breakfast, he ate shreddies and a glass of milk. And at lunch, he averaged about 4 cookies and always a peanut butter and jam sandwich. And I didn't get into his supper, and that's all he ate really the whole time.
You mean for 4 days,
Yep.
5 days, and
Yep.
ate peanut butter and jam sandwich?
He did.
It's not my fault.
5 days.
5
And he ate
days.
shreddies and a glass of milk for every breakfast.
Got the orange juice.
Oh yeah, and he had 1 glass of orange juice. And he had 6 oatmeal cookies on the last day.
Norma.
Janice had like a cheese and cucumbers on a bagel sandwich.
What a bag.
And she had a chocolate pudding cup and potato chips and banana, chocolate bar, Coke, and fish and chips. And pizza,
ice cream, gum, turkey and potatoes, broccoli, stuffing, gravy, quiche, cake, jello, ice cream, and an apple. And another day she had pancakes, butter, syrup, milk, potato sticks, pizza, Coke, and pretzels. And on the last day, scrambled eggs, toast, and butter, vegetables, cheese, and a bagel, egg rolls, spare ribs, honey spare ribs, chicken balls, chicken wings, and shrimp, and different Chinese sauces.
Okay, and Michael.
I have to say that John has a real big mouth, especially when it comes to snack. Like on the last day for a snack, before he went to bed, he had marshmallows, pop, milk, orange juice, apple juice, and a butter tart. And for lunch, he'd have stuff like salmon sandwich, chocolate milk, cake, and some of the shortest dinners ever, bacon, milk, and corn. And his lunches, sometimes they just weren't there. Other times, well, he did manage to get around to a cheese sandwich, chocolate milk, cake, and French fries.
We'd like you to participate in this experiment because we only have now reports from 4 people, and what we'd like to do is get the whole class to catalog exactly what you eat for 5 days, period of 5 days. Now, when the 4 spies were reading the list of foods that were eaten over that 5 days, many of you were laughing. Can you explain why?
Yeah, this is kind of a show on nutrition, but when you read out this report, it's all kind of got junk in it, candy bars, chips, pop. So that's what's really kind of funny. When you're doing a show on nutrition, you get all this other stuff in here.
Do you think it's junk?
Yeah, candy bars and that. It's not good for you.
Yeah, but it's good junk.
Well, is there such a thing as good junk? We took our class of snackers to a research laboratory to find out just what's in some of the foods they said they were eating. And the results? Here's a sample. French fries or chips, 115 calories, most of it from fat, but few of vitamins and minerals. Soda pop, 145 calories, all sugar and spice, and no vitamins, calcium, or iron. Our survey of the entire class revealed this staggering result. 72% of the class was low in iron, which is found in meat. 56% too low in calcium, which is found in milk. 80% too low in vitamin A and folic acid, a nutrient in green vegetables. Terry is one of the worst snackers in the class, and she's agreed to let us make some tiny improvements. Instead of jam and cheese on a bun before school, we'll substitute peanut butter for the jam. That adds some protein and iron. The milk and the orange juice are just fine. But for lunch, she reported having a hot dog with mustard, a soft drink, and a candy bar. The hot dog is nutritious, but let's take away the empty calorie pop and give her a glass of milk. Terrific for calcium and vitamin A. The pop has no nutritional value, and the sugar in it causes tooth decay. But is Terry really as wise about snacking as she appears to her girlfriend? The candy bar. Too much sugar and fat, and not enough of anything else. How about a banana instead? Some vitamin A and potassium and other stuff as well, and better than a candy bar. Now it's after-school snack time. 3 pieces of toast and butter, a coffee, 2 tangerines, and candy. How about a toasted tuna sandwich, skim milk, and peanuts instead? Now the TV snack. She reported having a handful of pretzels. Well, that's a handful of nothing. How about a handful of something healthy instead? Crackers, cheese, and celery. As a reward for their mission accomplished, we took Terry and our spies for a snack and let them choose the snack. You've got your order, and just before you begin to eat, there is one food on this table which may not be a desirable snack. Can you identify it? Anybody want to guess?
pizza. It's got to be the pizza.
The pizza? You're all wrong. You're all wrong.
Oh, the Sprite. Do you mean?
That's right.
Oh, I thought you meant the only thing that doesn't have anything in it?
That's the only thing that really doesn't have any nutrients. The fact is, all the foods you've ordered contain most of the nutrients that were missing from the diet reported by you and your classmates. There's iron in the hamburger meat, there's calcium in the pizza cheese and in the milkshakes, and there are lots of vitamins in the lettuce and tomato trimmings. You look incredulous.
Where did we go wrong? All the things that if what we eat has nutritional value, then how come the results are so low?
You know what's in ketchup?
Tomatoes.
More than that. What vitamin?
8.
Oh, no copyright on that. I think that was 1975. And, you know, so we watch old films, and sometimes we go like, ooh, that's creepy. And, you know, sometimes it's just like things have changed socially. But that film was creepy. That film was like, yeah, we're going to spy on your classmates. It's going to be fun. And we're going to watch what they eat and make a note of it. Ugh. Creepy. Alright, let's see what do we got. All that talk about food. Let's go ahead and watch. During the Olympics, I'm not a big sports follower, but man, in the evening, it was really chill to watch volleyball. Mostly beach volleyball and the women's teams. It was, even the indoor volleyball was pretty intense. So here's volleyball drills and techniques. Enjoy.
After learning the correct fundamentals of volleyball, drills can be used to improve serving, passing, setting, spiking, and blocking. This film will show the correct fundamental techniques and the methods for practicing these fundamentals. All-American players from the Pasadena YMCA, coached by Gene Selznick, will demonstrate the fundamentals by use of drills. Elementary drills followed by advanced drills will be demonstrated to show the basic fundamentals of volleyball. The United States Open Championship team, the Hollywood YMCA Stars, coached by Harry Wilson, will then show the drills and methods that they use in practice sessions. Players stand behind the service line on both sides of the court and practice serving for accuracy. The player should use the underhand serve only until he learns the overhand serve. In the underhand serve, the player keeps his eyes on the ball as he hits it out of his hand. In the overhand serve, the ball is tossed in front of the face and hit with the heel of the hand. In the following scenes, the players practice passing drills. They pass the volleyball high against the wall. As the ball is hit, there's a coordinated follow-through of the whole body. two players practice passing to develop good ball handling skills. Players in a semicircle pass the ball to the leader, and he returns the pass to them. This is a good basic drill for learning the correct techniques of passing. The hands are slightly cupped and facing outward toward the ball. The ball is contacted with the fingertips rather than the palms of the hands. The ball is passed around in a circle. The passer faces the player for whom the pass is intended. Players move under the ball and make the pass. When the ball is contacted, the arms are above the shoulders and ahead of the body. Players in a line hit the ball at least 12 feet high against the wall and then move to the end of the line. Notice how the players quickly assume position to make the pass. The arms are extended in a smooth follow-through motion after the ball is contacted. The underhand bounce pass should be used only when the player is unable to execute the regular chest pass. Notice how the player keeps his eyes on the ball as it bounces off the fist or forearms. The player recovers the ball off the net with a bounce pass. The eyes are kept on the ball as the player assumes a deep knee bend position. Emphasis should be placed on hitting the ball up so it can be spiked. The leader passes the ball to the players and they return it to him using the regular chest pass or bounce pass. The players assume a ready position to hit the ball. The fingers are parted and pointed upward. In the following scenes, players practice setting drills. Each player has a ball and practices passing from 12 to 16 feet high. This is a good preliminary set drill because it develops ball control and touch. The player lays his fingers back and a wrist snap is used to achieve power, control, and accuracy. Players on the end pass to the center. The center practices the front and back set. They change places so everyone can practice from the center position. On the back set, the player gets underneath the ball, lays the fingers back, and flicks the ball over his head. The following scenes show spiking drills. The player spikes the ball so it bounces about 2 to 3 feet from the wall. The ball rebounds to the spiker, and he jumps up and spikes the volleyball to the floor. This is the offhand spike. The volleyball is spiked with the heel of the hand, or a cupped hand. Notice
notice the tremendous wrist action as the player spikes the ball. This is the on-hand spike. The spiker hits the ball above the net and in front of the body, so it follows a downward flight. Notice how the spiker's hand is cocked behind his head before he spikes the ball. A whip-like arm swing is used. This is the deep set and spike. The player jumps high and spikes the ball above his head using a topspin, so it angles downward into the opponent's court. In this drill, one of the backline players moves to the net to become a setter. He can set the ball forward, backward, or make a short set to the player beside him. Notice that 3 spikers move in to spike every set ball. In the following scenes, let us observe the methods and advanced drills used in practice sessions by the Hollywood YMCA stars, United States Open champions in 7 of the last 10 years. In practice, the players concentrate on basic fundamentals of volleyball: serving, receiving, setting, spiking, and blocking. Players practice serving and receiving. This is a good beginning warm-up drill which gives the players a chance to practice serving for accuracy, speed, and deception. In the turn and pass drill, players learn to move into position to pass the ball and become oriented to court positions. The overhead pass drill is excellent for practicing the front and back set. The players warm up by spiking regular sets. As the drill is continued, players practice blocking the spike. Players practice spiking, while men on the other side of the net practice receiving. Now, the team practices the low set and spike. In a practice session, emphasis is placed on drills relating to game situations. Spikers should practice spiking at different speeds and to different parts of the court. Both right and left-hand spikes should be practiced. The team practices the shoot set and spike. The ball is passed from one side of the court to the other, so it can be spiked before a block is formed.
In the jump and pass drill, the player passes the ball and moves to the opposite line. As the season progresses, drills are practiced to overcome team weaknesses. Here, the team practices the bounce pass. There's no substitute for practice. By knowing correct fundamentals and practicing drills, you can develop skill and enjoyment in this newest Olympic sport, volleyball.
Sorry about that. Anyways, it's kind of dry, but there's something, again, kind of meditative about watching people play volleyball. I think the court is small, and there's this kind of back and forth, and it's just, I don't know. Maybe you don't feel the same way. But here's a film that we just recently scanned as of 2 days ago, or yesterday. I don't know what day it is. All right. The Broken Bookshop.
You fix me, Reuben.
My spine is broken, Reuben. I need your help. Reuben, I'll roll back my cover so you can see the awful mess somebody made of my first page. Can you help me?
Reuben fixed books that had all sorts of things wrong with them. Reuben loved books. He wanted books to live forever because they had so many good things to say.
Reuben, I think the glue dried overnight and my new cover is stuck on tight.
Reuben, I think the little book is right. Your glue really does a fine job. Better have a look at our friend in the press.
A brand new cover for you. How do you like it?
Love it.
We all love being fixed. I can breathe again, and people can read me again.
People just don't know how to take care of us folks.
All people?
Well, the people who owned me didn't. And just look around here in the broken bookshop. Look at all of us poor, hurt books. Oh, the terrible stories we could tell. Look at my burned friend here. My torn and ripped friend next to her. And their stories aren't as bad as the awful story of what happened to me. Once I lived in a nice house with a girl and her brother. Now, I was new, not like the other books I saw, and what a mess they were. Somebody in this house didn't know how to take care of books. At first, I was safe. I was on the bed. But she knew I was there. Oh, the terrible things that had been done to books in that room. I can't bear to think about it now. I just hoped I wouldn't be treated that way, but I was worried. Then her brother came in.
I'm gonna read you the book on the bed.
He picked me up. He opened me gently and smoothed down my pages. That felt so good. He turned my pages from the top so they wouldn't tear. He knew how to take care of a book.
In the broom closet of a house by a...
I hoped his sister knew how to take care of a book the way he did. I just loved having my pages turned by him. I thought if he was the one who always held me, then I'd never have to worry at all.
The children of the house loved books. They would read them during the day, and Benjamin would chew on the book covers.
It was wonderful, until...
Judged a book by its cover.
Upset the table.
And he gave me to her. At first, it looked like things were going to be all right, but then...
Supper's ready.
She didn't even look for a bookmark. She folded my page. But that wasn't the worst thing that happened to me. First, she left me on the floor. I saw a lot of places I could have been put, but I couldn't get there by myself. And then the dog came in. I didn't know which way to go. And then the dog found me. Now I knew why some of the other books looked like they'd been chewed on. They had. By the dog. The dog liked books. And the dog liked me best of all. Well, you can see what the dog did to me. I really need fixing now.
So Reuben fixed broken books. Every few days, he'd pack some that he fixed in a box and take them where people could read them. The books couldn't wait to be read again. Sometimes, a book would even try to get into the box before it had been fixed. And the fixed books didn't like that at all.
Reuben, there's a book in the box who isn't fixed yet. Shh, be quiet. I want people to read me.
No one will read you the way you are. Let Reuben fix you.
But I want people to read me.
They will. They will. Just give Reuben a chance. He knows what he's doing. Reuben! Reuben! Look in the box. Look who's here with us.
No, you can't come along. You're not ready yet.
You're too messy to go the way you are.
Well, maybe Reuben will fix me next.
How'd you get all stained like that?
Oh, it was terrible.
Tell us how you got so messed. We're all interested.
All right. But it makes me very sad every time I think of what happened. It was early one special morning. A boy was making breakfast for his mother on her birthday. And I was on the tray, a present from him and his cousin. I was a new book then, proud of my clean pages and my beautiful cover. And somebody was going to read me soon. Oh, I could hardly wait. Then he remembered something and left the kitchen, and his cousin came in. She wanted to help with the surprise, too, I suppose. But she... Oh, I don't want to even think about it. It was awful. Awful. Oh, I was all sticky and stained. She just thought it was funny the way I was jumping around. But I knew nobody would want to read me now. And here I am, all sticky with jam. I hope Reuben can really fix me.
He fixed me good as new. He'll fix you too, partner. Just give him a chance. Hey, you should have seen me when I came in. Look at me now. Now I can make people laugh again.
Now, a boy named Andy would borrow books from Reuben.
Hi, Andy.
I brought you your book back. I liked it a lot.
Well, would you like something else? What about, adventure?
No.
Oh, something funny?
Yeah.
I got just what you want.
Me!
Shush, lie down.
Yeah, maybe you'd like that.
So Andy took the book of funny riddles. He read it all afternoon and took it to soccer practice that evening.
What kind of insect gets A's in school? I don't know. A spelling bee. What is easy to get into but hard to get out of? I don't know. Trouble. Who's doing all these riddles? I have a riddle book. It's in my book bag.
Well, Andy's friend took the book out of the bag, but Andy didn't notice. They practiced for a while. Then they all went home. Somebody turned on a sprinkler. That was good for the grass, but not for the riddle book that had been left behind.
Help!
Do you think you can fix it?
I don't know. We can only try.
I feel so bad. I love books, and look what I did.
Reuben could see that Andy really cared about books, and that gave him an idea.
You know, I've decided to get some summer help. Would you like the job?
Yeah!
I've got a delivery to make. Let's go. Listen, I have a story to share with you. Can you keep a secret? You really love books? Oh, good. Then I'll share the secret with you.
He is going to tell Andy about us.
About how we talk to him.
And then we can talk to Andy.
Was Reuben really going to tell Andy about the books? Andy loved books. Reuben knew that. And so finally, Reuben decided to share his wonderful secret.
My books talk to me.
They do?
Yes, they do. And maybe they'll talk to you, too.
What, may I ask, is a dear little cupcake like you doing with nasty old school books? My dear child, we haven't had school or books in ages.
No school? Really?
Why don't you get rid of that school book? You can drop them in here.
It'll get all bound up in there.
Well, of course it will, dear child. And so it should. Books tamper with man's basic, natural ignorance. Now, what could be worse than that?
But I can't burn this book. It's school property.
Nonsense! Apple sugar. You just need to get into the mood.
Books are not where it's at, teaching you how to spell cat. I know you'd rather play, so why don't you throw all your books away? Books are made for burning, the fire is already yearning to put an end to any learning.
1, 3, 5, 9, throw 'em in, the fire's right.
Put the books in the fire, see the flames growing higher. Burning books is our heart's desire.
2, 4, 6, 8, time to incinerate.
Books will not make you wise, and reading's bad for your eyes. I am sure you agree, so why don't you give all your books to me? Books are made for burning, fire is already yearning to put an end to any learning.
This one here is very good about a man named Robin Hood.
Put the books in the fire, see the flames growing higher. Burning books is our heart's desire.
Though I never liked Tom Sawyer, I won't be a book destroyer.
Books can only confuse, teaching you things you can't use. You should listen to me. Burning your books will set your mind free.
Books are made for burning, fire is already yearning. Put it into any learning. Put the books in the fire, see the flames growing higher. Burning books is our heart's desire. Books are made for burning, fire is already yearning. Put it into any learning.
No, stop!
Tisha Campbell. I love showing that film, that little clip from Magnificent Major, a musical about the future where there are no books. Books have been outlawed. It's pretty great. It's like about Wizard of Oz, supposedly, but it's really about, it's kind of a Fahrenheit 451 story. It's all over the place, and it's a musical, and there's dance sequences, and anyways, such a good film. So tomorrow we'll be back 1 o'clock. Thank you everybody for tuning in today, watching some great films. That snacking film. Wow, I'm gonna have to sit and watch that again, because it is just, it's really strange. It's trying to get the point across, but the whole thing about like spying on your classmates, it is really weird. And believe me, I've watched a lot of educational films, and that one just kind of like bumped up against something that was like, yeah, I don't know about that. But anyways, if you liked AV Geeks, please tell the world by hitting like and subscribe, get notifications, of course, sharing it with people in your life who you think might dig it, might enjoy it, or be puzzled by it. Also, you can go to avgeeks.com and buy DVDs from us, and then, of course, buying us coffee. Even though it's hot outside, I'll sip some hot coffee. It's okay. I'll do it. Maybe take a shower afterwards just because I get all sweaty. But yeah, buymeacoffee.com/avgeeks is a great way to support AV Geeks, because we need your support. At the very least, your eyeballs. Letting me borrow your eyeballs for an hour or so is really great. So thank you for lending them to me. I'll try to be careful with them and not leave them outside or spill jam on them, etc. Anyways, everybody have a great rest of your day, and we'll be back tomorrow. Everybody take care.